Good morning, everybody. So we are going to be making English muffins. Of course, I don't just come up with these recipes on my own. I actually just find everything off of Pinterest and pray to God that it's actually a decent recipe. So you see that little Alani in the corner there? Yeah, that was very needed for this day. I didn't just make English muffins. I ended up making everything under the sun. Bread, muffins, English muffins, pizza pockets. I pretty much spent the entire day baking. So I got my yeast and everything ready. I was not going to do sourdough. That I genuinely just don't have time for it. I've tried to be a sourdough girly, and I've just lived with the fact that I'm not in my sourdough era anymore. So getting that ready. And so I do let them help me, but it stresses me out a little bit. I try to just let them help, but there's always that part of me that's like internally panicking. And they just love it every single time. Like, look how excited they are always to dump everything in there. And of course, it always ends up turning into a mess, which is, I try to say no big deal, but of course, inside I am like, oh my gosh, I hope this doesn't ruin the recipe, even if it's just like the tiniest littlest bit thing. So he's just adding some salt in here right before we're gonna mix everything. And then once we have everything all in there, salt, I'm gonna add the yeast here right in a minute. And I'm actually surprised because he dumped that out initially, and then I was hoping that it wasn't going to kill the yeast, and it actually ended up being totally fine. It came to full bloom and everything. So we're going to mix everything up in here and then wrap her up, set her aside. I actually had to let this sit, I believe, for an hour and a half. And so we ended up going to the grocery store. I needed to grab mozzarella, pepperoni, like a couple different things for the other things that I was baking. And so it actually ended up working out really well. So once I was all set to go, I ended up just shaping them with a cup that I had. And so it actually needed a heavy bottom. So I tried to just use this nonstick pan and it sucks. But that middle griddle was like perfect. Thank you guys for baking with me.